Close your eyes for a second. Think about yesterday. What did you do? Did you rush? Did you feel tired? Or did you notice the small, beautiful moments, like the taste of your morning coffee or a smile from a stranger?
Whoa, Emma, that is deep for 8 a.m.
I know, right? But here's the truth. Your daily routine is not just a list of actions, it is the story of your life. And when you can tell that story in English, you've won half the battle.
Welcome back to Daily English Learning, the place where real English meets your real life. I'm Liam.
And I'm Emma. Today, we're going to do something super simple but incredibly powerful. We're going to talk about our day, from the moment we open our eyes to the moment we close them at night.
But here's the twist. We're not just going to list verbs, we're going to share the feelings behind the actions, the human stuff.
Because when you learn English with your heart, you never forget it.
To all our listeners, if you love learning English through real, kind conversations, please hit the like button, subscribe to Daily English Learning, and share this episode with a friend who's just starting their English journey.
Okay, Liam, let us start at the very beginning, the morning.
Emma, what is the first thing you do when you wake up? Be honest.
Okay, I'll be really honest. The first thing I do is nothing. I just lie there for 2 minutes. I listen to the birds outside my window. I feel my blanket. I say to myself, Emma, you are alive. That's a good start.
That is beautiful. I used to grab my phone immediately, but then I felt anxious before my feet even touched the floor.
Exactly. So my first action is wake up. But waking up is not just opening your eyes, it's arriving into your day. Then I get out of bed.
Get out of bed. That's a classic phrase. I do that too. Then I go to the bathroom.
And in the bathroom, I brush my teeth and wash my face. But here's a human value. I don't rush. I brush slowly. I think about the day ahead.
I wash my face with cold water. It wakes me up immediately. Then I go to the kitchen.
Ah, the kitchen, the heart of the home. I make breakfast, usually oatmeal with honey and a banana.
Make breakfast. That's a great phrase. I make tea and toast. Sometimes I add peanut butter and if I'm feeling fancy.
Peanut butter is always fancy. Then I eat breakfast, or we say have breakfast. And here's my secret. I don't look at my phone while I eat. Instead, I look out the window.
Instead, that's a useful word. It means in place of something else. Instead of phone, you choose the window. That's mindfulness.
Yes. Then I get dressed. I choose comfortable clothes, and I put on my shoes if I'm going out.
Get dressed. Put on shoes, put on a coat. These are all daily action verbs, perfect for beginners.
Then I leave the house and go to work. Sometimes I work from home, but usually I go to my office.
Let me share my morning routine in more detail. I wake up at 6:30 a.m. I don't use an alarm. My body just wakes up. Then I get out of bed and go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth for 2 minutes. I wash my face with cold water. Then I go to the kitchen and boil water for tea. I have a cup of green tea and a piece of toast with avocado. While I eat, I look at my window. There's a big tree outside. I watch the leaves move. Then I get dressed. I put on my pants, my shirt, and my shoes. I put on my jacket if it's cold. Then I leave the house at 7:30 a.m. and go to work.
That is a wonderful routine, Liam. You have a lot of small details. Details make your English richer.
Thank you, Emma. Now, let me ask you, what do you do after you leave the house?
I take the bus to work. The bus stop is 2 minutes from my home. I wait for the bus. Sometimes I say good morning to the driver. That small kindness makes me feel good. The bus takes about 25 minutes. I do not look at my phone on the bus. I just look out the window and think about my day.
That is very mindful. Many people scroll on their phones during the commute, but you choose to be present.
Yes. Then I arrive at work at around 8:30 a.m. I say hello to my colleagues. I sit at my desk. I turn on my computer.
What do you do first at work?
I do not check email. That is very important. Instead, I spend the first 30 minutes on my most important task. For me, that is writing. I am a content writer, so I write articles or social media posts. I work on my computer without any distractions. I close all the extra tabs. I put my phone face down.
That is deep work. Deep work means focused, uninterrupted work on a meaningful task. I try to do that too.
Exactly. Then around 10 a.m., I check my emails. I answer emails from my boss and my clients. Answering emails usually takes 20 to 30 minutes. Then I have my first meeting of the day. I have meetings with my team. We talk about our projects. We share ideas. Having meetings is a big part of my work.
I also have meetings, sometimes online, sometimes in person. I work as a teacher, so my meetings are with other teachers or with students' parents.
That is interesting. So during the day, you also prepare lessons, right?
Yes, I write lesson plans, I prepare materials for my students. I also correct homework. Correcting homework is not my favorite activity, but it is important.
I understand.
Nobody loves grading papers, but it helps students learn. Exactly. Now, let us talk about lunch. What do you do for lunch, Emma? I usually have lunch around 12:30 p.m. I bring food from home, usually leftovers from dinner.
Please.
I wake up at 6:30 a.m. without an alarm. I get out of bed and go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth for 2 minutes. I wash my face with cold water. Then I go to the kitchen and boil water for green tea. I have tea and toast with avocado. I look at the tree outside my window. Then I get dressed. I put on my pants, shirt, shoes, and jacket if it is cold. I leave the house at 7:30 a.m. I walk to work. It takes 20 minutes.
I arrive at work at 7:50 a.m. I say hello to my colleagues. I sit at my desk and turn on my computer. I prepare my first lesson. I teach from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Teaching means I talk, explain, and help students. Then I have lunch at 12:30 p.m. I eat a sandwich or go out to eat with a friend. After lunch, I correct homework and prepare lessons for the next day. I have a meeting with other teachers at 2 p.m. I finish work at 5 p.m. I walk home. When I get home, I take off my shoes and sit on the sofa for 10 minutes. I cook dinner, rice with beans or pasta. I wash the dishes. Then I call my mom for 10 minutes. I read a book. I brush my teeth again. I get ready for bed. I go to bed at 10 p.m. That is my day.
Liam, your day is full of teaching and helping others. That is beautiful.
Thank you, Emma. Now, let us review the most important verbs from today. I will say them slowly.
Morning verbs. Wake up. Get out of bed. Go to the bathroom. Brush my teeth. Wash my face. Make breakfast. Have breakfast. Get dressed. Put on shoes. Leave the house. Go to work. Work verbs. Sit at my desk. Turn on my computer. Work on my computer. Answer emails. Write reports. Have meetings. Prepare lessons. Correct homework. Have lunch. Go back to work. Finish work. Go home. Evening and night verbs. Get home. Take off shoes. Sit on the sofa. Relax. Cook dinner. Wash the dishes. Call my family. Read a book. Watch TV. Brush my teeth again. Get ready for bed. Go to bed. That is more than 35 verbs.
If you learn 5 verbs every day, in 1 week you will know all of them.
Now, here is your practice challenge. Write your own daily routine in English. Use the verbs we learned today. Write 8 to 12 sentences. Here's a simple structure you can follow.
Start with your morning. I wake up at blank. I get out of bed and blank. I make blank for breakfast. Then I get dressed and leave the house.
Then write about your work or study. I go to blank. I blank on my computer. I have lunch at blank. I finish work at blank.
Then write about your evening. I get home at blank. I cook blank for dinner. I wash the dishes. I call blank or I read a book. I go to bed at blank.
Then post your routine in the comments below this video. We will read every single comment. We will give you a like and a kind word.
If you are shy, that is okay. Write it in a notebook first. Read it out loud to yourself. Then come back and share when you are ready.
Remember, your English does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. Every small step you take is a victory.
Learning a language is like building a house. You start with one brick, one word, one sentence, then another brick and another. One day, you look up and you have a home.
That is beautiful, Liam. Now here is our question for you in the comments. What is one small thing you do every day that makes you happy?
For me, it's calling my mom. For Emma, it's looking out the window while eating breakfast. What is yours?
Write your answer in English. Use one of our verbs. For example, I listen to music every day and it makes me happy. Or, I drink tea in the morning and that makes me feel calm.
If this episode helped you, please hit the like button. Subscribe to Daily English Learning. Share this episode with a friend who is learning English.
Thank you for spending your time with us. Your time is precious. We are grateful.
Take care of yourselves. Be kind to your own routines. And remember, every day is a new chance to practice.
We will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye-bye, everyone.